I'm not wearing a shirt today, but more importantly than that, I've been trying to make this video for the past literally 24 hours, and I can't because just trading in this Bitcoin range, even the range is insane. Now, guys, this is my VIP Discord where I give you guys my trade setups and my ideas before they happen. As you can see here at 11:47, I said, guys, this is your short if you missed it. And don't worry about this. This was an inside joke that happened on my last live stream. So if you missed the last live stream, sucks for you. You're not in on my joke. But you can see here at 12:36, about 45 minutes later, bam, price came up, touched the red box, and it actually hasn't came back to revisit it. 34,400, 34,400, has not come back to revisit it. It was right here. This was our short, and we are currently schlong. And to join the VIP Discord, all you got to do is DM my GeoBot up here. The 4-digit code that you're going to hear in this video, the first digit is a 1. So guys, if you remember my video last week, I was saying that this wick was a little bit concerning because we came up and we wicked out all of these highs right here. We recovered the vector candle and we closed below a significant level. So in terms of market structure, it did make sense to now come down for the lows. I do take responsibility for last week. However, I do not take full responsibility. This chart is the Bitcoin USD.P, aka perpetual chart on Bybit, okay? And you could see where my horizontal line is here. If I take the magnet tool and I make it exactly on the line, it was 30,640, which was the level that I was saying was very important to close above if we were going to continue the move higher. This here is Bitcoin USD on Coinbase, and you could see this is the same line that closed at exactly 30K, not actually wiping out the liquidity that's up here. So the reason it is partially my fault is because I should have checked the other exchanges, but I did not. Binance is the same, okay? Binance did not wipe the liquidity that is above this zone, aka not actually making this a valid swing failure pattern. So yes, I was wrong, but I didn't actually check the other exchanges. If I did check the other exchanges, I wouldn't have been saying that we're likely to target the lows right now because this would not have been a swing failure pattern. Cool, whatever, Geo, that's the past. Obviously, we jumped since that point when we came and retraced another 25%. Oh my days.
Oh my God!
Okay, cool. So now that we know what happened, past tense, let's talk about what is happening and what might happen next. I don't know why I said happen like that the second time. All right, so this is our current range. The low is 32,520 and the high is 35,744, okay? Do you notice anything about that range? It is a $3.5 thousand range, and it's that range on the 5-minute time frame. In other words, all of the moves that we're getting in this range is extremely volatile. These moves that don't look like they would be much are 3%, 4%, 5%, right? The entire range is 9%. Okay, this is a ginormous, that's not even a word, gigantic, whatever, man, a huge range, okay, for the time frame that it's on especially. Now, what do we know about ranges? When we're doing the ranges, as you remember from the last video, we're at the low, we rotate to the high, we rotate to the low, we rotate to the high, etc. And so right now, the best advice that I have for anybody that's trading is do not FOMO, do not YOLO long it. No, no, no. We trade the range as we do. Remember, when we are above the 50% mark, we are in premium pricing. And when we are below it, we are in discounted pricing. AKA, we should be looking for longs near the lows and we should be looking for shorts near the highs. I haven't even been able to make this video because I've been just trading the range. I've been longing the top, or sorry, longing the bottom, shorting the top, and so forth. So now I currently am in the short that I showed you in the Discord earlier, which, by the way, the next digit's a 1. So this is the 4-hour time frame. Geo, why are you bearish if the money flow is super, super thick? Well, I'll tell you this. Not only are we printing bearish divergences on the 4-hour, but these are huge divergences, which I talked about on stream. If I take the high of the wick to the recent high of the wick, there is a 16% divergence, almost 17% divergence in Bitcoin. And what do we know about divergences on Market Cipher B? Well, typically, the larger the divergence, the more impactful of the move it has. And on top of that, what do we know? When we have a red dot on Market Cipher B, we got to look to the left, find the vectors, and we cannot be surprised if price makes its way down there. Another confluence to the downside is just following market structure. Now, this is not bearish market structure. However, what typically happens after we have a break of structure? Remember, we got a low, we have a high, we have a higher low, we have a higher high. So what happens at the point of the break of structure? Normally, you will have some form of retracement. Now, how deep does the retracement go? We do not know, okay? There's no way to know. But we are to expect somewhat of a retracement, and in my opinion, we have not gotten it yet, especially after getting, give or take, a 20% move to the upside and only retracing 4%. So we haven't had our retracement yet. Yes, I understand money flow is thick. And guys, listen, man, I've watched Market Cipher like it is television for 3 years, okay? I am very well aware on how important the money flow is, but I am also well aware of the order of operations, which if you don't know what that is, go back and watch my previous streams. But I am going to make a Market Cipher video because I feel like a lot of you guys don't actually know how this thing works, and I'm going to make it a lot easier for you, probably in the next video. So make sure you like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Thanks. If we're building our narrative and we know we have a low, high, higher low, higher high, technically speaking, price can come all the way down to 28K and still remain bullish on the 4-hour time frame. And I don't necessarily think that it's impossible to do that. Now, I'm not saying it's going to happen right away, okay? Clearly, last week I was talking about this and I was wrong. It doesn't mean that we're not going to have another push to the upside. We're going to talk about the targets to the upside. But we do have to talk about the downside, because what are the rules? There's a red dot. Where are the vectors? We got to chase them. Okay, so let's get our curve tool out and let's talk about liquidity. What do we know about liquidity? We know market makers like to make a run for liquidity, even though for whatever reason, everybody that longed the top, all the retail noobs, market maker decided to give them free money. No problem. That's just going to feed my positions when we do eventually come down. And I don't mean to sound redundant, but we had a low. We had a higher low, a higher low, a higher low, a higher low. And look at this, guys. I could even take the liquidity line and draw it all the way down here. Okay, I can draw it all the way down there. Now, I'm not suggesting that price is going to come down to 25K, but we have to be aware of it. Guys, I always say this. It is important for you to build the narrative. The truth is anybody that decided to long the top, yes, you were correct. This time, congratulations. But if I asked you to build a narrative and say, oh, it went up for this, and this reason, I guarantee you wouldn't have been able to do it. So yes, I am expecting lower, and perhaps it doesn't come yet because money flow is very thick. But I can at least back up my thesis with the narrative that I'm building. Now, liquidity, as important as it is not as important as market structure. So this is the 4-hour time frame. What can we expect and how can we have an idea as to where price may go next? Let's jump down to the 1-hour time frame. This is our 1-hour market structure. We have the low, we have a high, we have a higher low, we have a higher high. Everything within this point and this point is internal. This entire range is internal market structure right now, meaning that the 1-hour time frame can come all the way down to 30,000 and still remain bullish. That is a good 10% away from where we are right now. Now, anybody that decides to long here, you're not going to put your stop loss 10% away. That's ridiculous. So what can we do? We jump down to the 15-minute time frame is a little better, but it's still not great, right? We have a low, high, higher low, giga higher high, higher low, and now everything within this is internal, right? That's obviously our range. But this is the problem when we have very large ranges like this, is we can't really count on any moves here. All right, so because the range is so big, clearly you can see that following market structure on the extremely high time frames are not really beneficial. And yes, you could follow it on the lower term time frames like the 5, but it's still not going to give you the best results because we flip market structure all the time. And it's risky, okay? Trading in this range, and I've been saying it in my Discord all day, trading in this range right now is risky. And guys, because this range is so bloody volatile, this is the first time I've ever said bloody in my life, is so volatile, whether you're longing or shorting in this range, obviously we're looking for shorts at the high, longs at the low, but whichever way you go, I think it is very important to take profit early, put your stop loss to the entry because we don't know what's possible. These moves are insane. Okay, so what may happen next? Well, obviously we have our range high and we have the range low, and I think that whenever we decide to get significant closes above or below, whichever way it goes, we will have an idea for a direction. Okay, so that is the scenario for us to come to the downside. We have a lot of liquidity. The higher term time frames on Market Cipher B, like the daily time frame, is giving us a golden nugget. This is a significant wave, and we're potentially getting the red dot. 18-hour, we're confirming the red dot right now. 12-hour, we're confirming the red dot right now. 8-hour, we've already confirmed the red dot. And these are very high momentum waves, okay? Like typically when the momentum waves are this high, you would be looking for somewhat of a retracement. Although it is possible that Bitcoin just continues in this range. But now let's take a look at the upside. As they say, the trend is your friend until the end. And we are very clearly in an uptrend, despite me being a little bit uneasy because I wanted to take that liquidity that's below us. But let's just assume we are going to get another move to the upside, okay? Money flow is very thick. What do we know about money flow? We know that the thicker the money flow, the more divergences money flow may give us. So this is what may happen, in my opinion, if we are to get another move to the upside. I believe if we are, we're going to spend the next few days just staying in this range, right? We're going to wick the low. We're going to wick the high. The range is going to eventually expand a little bit or a lot. I don't know, right? And we're going to basically just chill here. Let's just say between 30K and 36K. But in my opinion, for Bitcoin to have a healthy, sustainable move to the upside, this is what we want. We want Bitcoin to continue to range because we have those red dots on those higher term time frames, and we don't want Bitcoin to actually dump despite us having the red dots. However long the range forms, I do not know. But if money flow starts to come out of Bitcoin and we get another wave to the upside, we'll get a green dot here and a red dot here. I think price can make its way up to our final target of between 37.7, let's just say, and $40,000. The next digit's a 1. How and why do I have this box? Well, if we come on the daily time frame and we take a look at what happened, we left a nice juicy vector candle and demand zone up between 37.7 and $40,000. And if you pull a fixed range profile on this previous range, you can see we have a previous range value area low and a previous range point of control, both giving us confluence within this box. So if we make our way up there, which I'm not suggesting we're going to do anytime soon. It could take a couple weeks. It could take a couple months. I do not know, right? If we make our way up there, eventually what I would look for is higher time frame, market structure change, come and get the retest. And this, in my opinion, would be a very strong signal to give us a nice swing low, especially if we come up before we come down, right? If we leave all this liquidity that everybody's been longing since September, middle of September, a month and a half, and we go up again, then I do believe we can get a pretty significant move to the downside, even if it's a quick wick just to wipe all the liquidity. But I will be looking for giga shorts up at this zone here, and I will close all of my longs if we make it up to 37.7 to $40,000 without getting a significant retracement. Of course, I'm going to update you guys in the VIP Discord as I do. But guys, until it cleanly breaks whichever which way and we get a strong move in whichever direction, we kind of just got to play the range, right? We're looking for longs at the lows. We're looking for shorts at the highs. And we're probably going to SFP the low at some point, probably going to SFP the high at some point, and just continue to range. And last thing to note, guys, is Bitcoin dominance, okay? So Bitcoin dominance had a massive move up, which is why Bitcoin is giving us the largest moves. Now, what happens typically when Bitcoin starts going sideways, dominance starts to drop. As you can see with dominance, we have money flow coming out, yet the price is going higher. In other words, dominance can give us a pretty decent correction. So if dominance starts to dump down, but Bitcoin stays sideways in this range and doesn't really do much, then a lot of the money that's been flowing into Bitcoin will make its way over to the altcoins. In other words, we can expect somewhat of an alt season. And that's when altcoins are going to explode, guys. If Bitcoin is ranging and doing nothing and getting boring, yet dominance is coming down, alts are going to be mooning in. I mean, I think you can already start seeing it. Alts are starting to move. Look at Link. Link is flying 4% up in the day, and it's only been 45 minutes. All right, guys, 34K on the dot. The last digit is a 4. Happy trading.